Persona is a 2000 J-horror film. It is part of Arrow Films box set J-Horror Rising. So I didn't know this, but I saw some of it available for rent at the video rental shop that I like. These are also maybe on Shudder, depending on your country. But this is a box set of like early Japanese horror films before they started to take over with stuff like Ju-on and Ringu. So these are some of the lesser known films. This one's definitely lesser. This one is about masks, porcelain masks that are starting to be worn by bullied kids at a school, teenagers. The first one is Danda. He basically puts on a mask, and it emboldens him a little bit because the bullies are they still pick on him, but they're kind of weirded out by the fact that he wears it. And then when other people start wearing it, people start to kind of forget who's who. And then you start yelling at someone and they're like, I'm not even the person you're trying to bully. And it's becoming a big fad. So more students start wearing the masks. They're not against code of conduct. And they start even becoming so big that there's a fashion company that starts doing the same thing, where they have beautiful models wearing masks and doing things. And we're focusing on Yuki. She's a high school student who, her and her friend are basically roped in because she starts investigating the masks. She wants to know more about them and give a newspaper man he's like a tabloid guy, more information. So she sneaks into this sort of rave party where people wear masks to do orgy stuff, and she gets hypnotized, and then she ends up at a mask maker shop where she meets Dojima. He's like a guy who makes these masks, and there might be some weird supernatural connection, but people start wearing the masks for whatever reasons in public too. So they can use them to harm people, they can use them to hide from people, they can use them to basically just act out of character, and the police are sort of useless. And then there is a suicide at the school. The mask wearers say that it's a suicide because a teacher forced the kid to take off his mask, and then that guy's another woman ends up dead too. So Yuki and her friends start investigating, and that's where this movie sort of falters. The first half of this, the first 30 minutes of this movie is kind of creepy. It's kind of got this societal edge to it. I really liked the vibe, and then it turns into a generic murder mystery story as more people start dying related to the masks, and then they investigate the fashion company and try to find out who at the fashion company or Dojima is the killer. And it becomes very boring, very pedestrian. It also doesn't help that this movie's super cheap feeling. They use a lot of stock sound effects, that sort of whispering, or it'd be the equivalent of like dun dun dun. It's really cliche. Even like the one suicide sequence that has CGI blood, it looks so fake. And then the music doesn't. The sound effects make the film seem like a TV movie basically, even though it's not. Or maybe it is. But either way, the movie feels cheap and looks cheap. It's very simple. It's a murder mystery, and it starts to lose its steam by the end. And by the end, it's not very scary. It started to be creepy at the first half because there's like gangs of mask-wearing people. But then when it starts focusing into a murder mystery, it starts to lose its edge. So Persona started off interesting, but then fizzles out. I give Persona 2000 a 4 out of 10.